us here for the hearing regarding a considered proposed 0.5% increase to the sales and use tax to be levied. I'd like to call the...
Good morning, Brian Massie, 8196 Rainbow Drive. I personally had a tour for over an hour at the jail, and I'd like to thank the sheriff for making that possible, and for Captain Brooks and Deputy Aldridge, I believe it was, that gave me a great tour and a better understanding of the jail. Again, as an average citizen, there's many things that I really didn't realize, and I think probably many of the Lake County residents don't realize what the jail does. We started our tour at the on the roof, because I always heard that the roof was a problem. I wanted to see for myself, and I can just tell the commissioners and the public, it's an absolute disaster. And the only thing worth saving with that building are the people that are working in it. There are a couple impressions that I have. The jail is immaculate. I was amazed of how clean it is, and that's probably Captain Brooks and Sheriff Liam Bruno making that happen. There wasn't a scrap on the floor or anything, so they're to be commended for that. The other thing that I realized was the space. I was only in there for an hour, but I didn't feel safe in there. And I can only imagine what the deputies that are tasked with performing all of those duties, how they feel. And I can understand why it is very difficult to attract and retain employees if you have that work environment. I did not realize that, I think they had 427 people. We've got to feed those people 3 times a day. That in itself is a monumental task, and you can see the space that they try to operate in. It's amazing that they get it done. The other area that was really, truly amazing to me was the medical. I didn't realize that the state mandates that we provide dental, medical care, and we also have to care for someone that is extremely ill. I saw 2 inmates, I guess we call them patients now, that were in beds. I didn't realize that really happens in the jail. I thought they were sent into a hospital, and a hospital ward, but no, that is a responsibility of the jail, which requires medical personnel, which adds, but the medical personnel that I saw, they were working in nothing larger than a closet. I mean, I made the joke, you got to take a number to get in here to take turns to work. So the work that they do is truly amazing. So I have I can say without any hesitation, we need a new jail. The question I have is regarding the incarceration versus the rehabilitation model, and how do we pay for it? Regarding the dollars and cents, I've been trying to determine how much cash do our political subdivisions have. Be they Lake Tran and Community College and Deepwood, they have been extracting money from the taxpayers over the years and have been accumulating that. I talk about Deepwood with the 55 million. We've got Lake Metro Parks with 19 to 20 million. Lake Tran is 41 million, and by 2027 they're going to have 57 million. So, and I'm looking for public records from Lakeland to. And my point is, I'm trying to find out, and I will be meeting with Auditor Galloway after the meetings today. Because I want to find out, well, how much cash do we really have at our disposal? Can we write a check for it? No one's been able to tell me yes or no. Or do we really have to go for a 0.5% sales tax, which is going to impact citizens, it's going to impact the business community also. The other issue that I have is, I hope I'm not exceeding my time limit, Commissioner Emerchek.
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay, well, just get your hook out if you're...
Keep going.
The incarceration versus rehabilitation model, I try to find out what some statistics...
It is time, but please continue your closing statement. We would like to hear it.
You would like me to continue?
Please continue it, but if you could make it brief, we'd appreciate it.
Okay. I'll just say that I try to find statistics for the rehabilitation model. I guess we do provide rehabilitation for the drug and alcohol abuse. 85% of the prisoners right now are in the jail for 30 days or less, so I'm not sure how much rehabilitation is done in the 30 days. They probably go on probation. I don't know for sure, but that would be the logical. And I asked the question of the Adams Board, and thanks to Kim Fraser for being very kind and being very responsive and getting me the statistics, but what she said, the recidivism rate for the 2 years that they were tracking, one was 63% and the other was 85%, and that is the inmates will be back in jail within the 3-year period. So I will continue to do the research, but I wanted to make sure that the community knows, as an average citizen, I can say that the jail needs to be replaced. Thank you very much.
If I could, first off, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to go to jail. That's enlightening. That's eye-opening.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And I appreciate you taking the time to do that and report to the board what you saw. And second, if I could comment just briefly with regard to the other entities throughout Lake County, you know, the proposed sales tax is to supplement, to augment the general fund. And we cannot use those funds to operate the county. So those are different.
I understand, but I understand it. It's not that I'm saying that everybody's going to pass the basket and you're going to have more money.
I just didn't want that it should be clouded.
Yeah, I just, that my concern is that so much money has been extracted from the citizens, there's only so much to give.
Understood.
But thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for your comments.
And if I may, while we have our prosecutor present, can you just put this to bed once and for all, that this Board of Commissioners cannot use monies from a separate political subdivision for any other purpose? Can you please help put that to bed?
That's correct. It would be illegal to expend those funds for you. They're just not available.
Thanks. All right. I apologize, Mr. Massie, but that keeps coming up, and we keep hearing, let's talk to the auditor, let's talk to the treasurer. We've got the prosecutor sitting here himself, and I figured let's hear it from our top legal man in the house. So, all right, with that, do we have anyone else wishing to address the board? Sir.
John Music, 45 Coventry Drive, Painesville Township. As you know, I've been speaking up here for a long time, and I have said way back when, there's nothing more important than law enforcement, nothing in the county. That's their job, is to protect the people, because you see postal workers getting shot and robbed, and you see firemen getting shot. I talk with a group of people once a week from all over the country, and some from other countries, and do not ever think that the problems they're having in other places in this country will not come to Lake County. You're very, I don't want to use the terminology, but the thing about it is and it will happen. We have a great sheriff, prosecutor, and we have great county judges. We cannot, it takes all three to maintain law and order. Any failure at any of those levels, our law enforcement will be gone. And the thing about it is, only thing I am asking, I support the jail. I took a tour of it when it was built. When they built the emergency center over in Garfield, I did a lot of work over there when they were going in over there. And the thing about it is, nothing lasts forever. And maybe we ought to go to the General Assembly and start looking at how we give some funds to the law enforcement. It's like the sheriff says, he's getting more and more females, and then when you have male and females, you got to do various things also, which takes up more room. So the thing about it is, you look across the country, and the number of people breaking our laws, well, if you don't steal something for over 1,000, you get away with it. I have said forever, Transparency, oversight, and accountability. If there are no consequences for breaking the laws, it's only going to get worse. And I've said this before, lawlessness breeds more lawlessness. We have no choice. Shoplifting has gone up. Talk to some of the people in the stores. And the thing about it is, we have, I don't want to say you don't have any choice, but we must give the law enforcement, all 3 levels, the tools they need to do their job. It's that simple. There's nothing more important in this county to protect the people and our kids and everybody else. We must do that. And especially when it comes to the funding, all I can say is asking for the 3 of you is to make it the less effective that affects the citizens of this county, and especially the seniors. You know, the seniors are having a tough time right now, you know, with the inflation and all this other stuff, the GDP and everything that's out there. They're having a tough time. A dollar doesn't buy what it used to buy. And when you're on a fixed income probably for the rest of your life, it makes it tough. But I support the new jail. I support the sales tax. I think that'd probably be the least amount of effect on the people here in Lake County. So do what you have to do. Only thing I'm also asking is regards to some of the other spending you do over the years, and I've been coming here since 2005. So the thing about it is, maybe we should cut back some of this and direct more towards law enforcement, because law enforcement has a bigger job than they had 10, 15, 20 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago. But the thing about it is, they still have got to do it, and it is going to be more costlier. Of course it is, because they got more to do. But like I said, we've got to give them the tools to do their job. No ifs, ands, or buts. We've got to do this, or we will no longer have a safe community. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. President.
Sir.
I'd like to just back up what Mr. Music said.
Yes, sir.
Or to add to it. Luckily, last week when we were at the CCAO conference, they are lobbying the state for more funds for jails as one of their priorities. They have 3 priorities. The other one is to restore the local government fund. I'm not going to hold my breath for either. But that is something right now the state gives about $50 million in grants. There's 52 counties asking for money. So if you divide that up, however they do it, I don't know how they're going to choose that. It's not a whole lot of money to do much of anything on any of these systems. So the jail system is statewide is a problem, and they see that. But they're asking the governor to put more into that, and whether he will or not, we won't know. So that's something that as a group of commissioners throughout the state, they're asking, and the local government fund too would give more money to put into a general fund. Not, you know, as the Commissioner Hamercheck stated, that it would increase not only the counties, we get 11 cents on a dollar on that, but each of the municipalities, we're all going through the same thing in their police departments. Everyone's in the same boat here, and that's the hard part about this.
And if I may just put a little finer point on that, you make an excellent point. Of the local government fund, Lake County operates under what's called the alternate formula. So when you hear us talking about 11 cents on the dollar, the other 89 cents by agreement is automatically sent out to the separate political subdivisions in Lake County, the other local governments. So again, every dollar that comes in, 11 cents approximately stays with the county. The other 89 cents goes out to the other municipalities. Commissioner Tyler?
Regarding the alternate formula, Commissioner Regovich and I both were former mayors, and we appreciate all the local government funding coming into the cities, although it's been cut substantially over the last 15 plus years.
By the state.
By the state, yes. It's unfortunate more didn't come to the county, but the cities need it as well. So that's, I just wish that the state would revisit it and make it whole again, back to what the original funding was, you know, at that point in time. With regard to Mr. Music's comments, thanks again, Mr. Music, for your comments. And some of them are really ring home with me. My wife and I just became seniors this year. So impact on seniors is particularly important to me as well, so I appreciate your position on that. And I just want to stress again that this proposal is to supplement current and future obligation of the general fund. So this is for every department across the county, and we can't emphasize that enough. Every department has their needs. We have capital projects across the board, which we are going to struggle with finding money to implement necessary projects. So those are the challenges we're facing at this point.
Well said. Anyone else in the audience wishing to address this board? Anyone else in the audience? Thank you for attending. Okay, the board will now receive any written comments on the proposed increase to the Lake County sales and use tax. Madam Clerk?
Yes, the board did receive a phone call, a postcard in the mail, and a few emails. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, ma'am. The Board of County Commissioners will not make any decision on a proposed increase in the Lake County sales and use tax at this hearing. Additional written endorsements and/or objections may be sent to the clerk of the Board of Lake County Commissioners, 105 Main Street, 5th floor, Building A, Lake County Administration Center, Paynesville, Ohio, 44057, or email to jennifer.bell@lakecounty.ohio.gov. Any such written endorsements and/or objections must be received by the end of business on 4:30 p.m. on December 27th, 2022. And with that, this meeting and public hearing now stands adjourned. Thank you for joining us today.